Una pregunta que dicen acá que si la neurotoxina debe ser... A ver, ¿quién mandó esto? Valentina Carricarte. Si la neurotoxina que nombraste tiene alguna otra aplicación y que lo cuentes, porque...
¿Quién habló? Sí, Valentina. Sí, la tiene. La neurotoxina está en mi cara. Bueno, si hay una aplicación en dermatología con una concentración mucho más baja que el producto. El producto en estudio clínico es intramuscular, pero hay un producto para dermato y yo me pongo todos los días. ¿Te parece? ¿Está bien? Es como Botox, pero un día, entonces que estamos hablando, el potencial comercial es tan grande que ya me preguntaron, ¿cuál es el valor de mercado? Porque sabemos que la fisura anal crónica es $800 million, pero este producto de dermato sin prescripción, tal vez también vamos a avanzarlo. Y me encanta, mira.
Gaby,
Mira, en el telón.
Gaby me dijo de
Gabe,
ponérmelo hoy, pero
Gabe, take a picture on the big screen there, look, of the serum. Que voy a enviar a Chile.
Bueno, después vamos a preguntas más serias.
Pero es verdad,
Sí,
imagínate.
Es verdad. Gaby me quería poner esta mañana, pero teníamos miedo de la sobredosis.
Sí, yo hice el otro día una sobredosis, no conseguí. Es verdad, estaba en una reunión, le pregunté al hombre, pero no conseguía reír. Es el producto de mi cliente.
Ryan, preguntan, expliques un poco más cómo funciona el team de IndieBio para seleccionar y qué esperan que ocurra con los startups que pasan tu proceso de aceleración. Esto es Clara de Gerteleni, del Gobierno de la Ciudad de Buenos Aires, que está preguntando.
Voy a hablar un poquitico en inglés y un poquitico en español primero y después inglés ahora para la explanación, porque algunas veces... Traductora, sí, perfecto, gracias. Todavía me olvido, mi papá y mi mamá son cubanos, pero me olvido las palabras, nací en Miami. Okay, so the way that we work in IndieBio is that we make decisions very quickly. So we assess a company when they apply to IndieBio. We typically get between 150 to 300 applications per cycle. So that's 15. We select 15 companies out of that, and these are global applications, come from everywhere. And so there's no limit. You don't have to get permission from your investigator, your professional, your PI. Your professor doesn't have to say it's okay, and sometimes that's a problem. But it's okay. We're all right with that. You just apply. Just try it. And so what we do is we assess the science. Is it feasible? It can be a scientific plan that's 1 page long, as long as the science makes sense. When we look at the papers that support your thinking, it makes sense. And then we look at the business, right? Even if it's crazy. Sometimes the best ones are the crazy ones. You look at it and you go, this is a crazy, and you know, I'm not allowed to curse, right? So, yeah, no puedo decir nada malo. I curse a lot. So, you know, pero los locos son los interesantes algunas veces. And the crazy ones, when you look at the business and the business model doesn't fall, right? Then that gets really, really interesting. And and then we look at the team, right? Is the team that can actually do it? So they call it the hustler in Silicon Valley, the business lead, right? The business lead can be anyone. And we funded everything from an 18-year-old, Kathy. She actually was doing science in the lab from the age of 14. At 18, she dropped out of the University of Toronto to start a company to be CEO of a biotech. They raised $1.6 million, as a side note, all the way through to a professor who's 65 years old, right, who's building robots and selling them to his colleagues, right? So, you know, the whole range. They have vision. The robots can see so that they're smart. You can actually have machine vision and learning so that you don't have to program a robot. It can learn and move things around on essentially a chessboard, a three-dimensional chessboard. Yeah, it's cool. And it speeds up research. And so we look at, like, are those the founders that can do it? And on the science end, we're a little bit less flexible. We've tried going for biohackers and DIY bio. No, you need a professional. You need, science is still very much a craft, right? Like a great carpenter is a great carpenter. You can't just hire a carpenter, right? It is a skill set. It is an art. Science is still art, so you really need a strong scientist in the co-founding team. I would say that's what we look for. And then we pressure test them to make sure they're not going to fall apart when we interview them. We go, we break them in the interview because we're going to be breaking them for the entire 4 months, and they need to be strong. Right? Do you really believe what you believe? If no one funds you, would you still do this? If the answer is yes, do it. If the answer is no, don't do it. Do something else. F off and do something else, right? I didn't swear.
A mí me encantan algunas frases de Ryan. Estuvimos en un instituto de biotecnología en Buenos Aires y él le dijo al director que le gustaba transformar PhD en emprendedores. Creo que casi le da un infarto, pero dice, no, los PhD de mi instituto son míos. No, bueno, pero puede haber otros.
Son de ellos, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Son de ellos.
Sé que lo dijiste en tu presentación, pero me están preguntando de una oficina de vinculación, digamos, ¿cuáles, de acuerdo a tu criterio, los principales desafíos para vincular la academia o los institutos de investigación con el sector productivo, el tema de los convenios, lo que hablabas de la confidencialidad y cuáles serían algunos tips tuyos con la experiencia para mejorar?
Bueno, yo voy a hablar inglés. I think the most important, I'm very pragmatic, and we as scientists often tend to get carried away by the exciting science. Oh, this technology platform, we can do it better, new methods. The first and the foremost is really the market need. No matter how sexy, and I've worked in one of the sexiest sciences, I would say, which is animal cloning, right? The Dolly the Sheep team. What is there a market need? And so to question yourself and only to move forward, especially with us, with investors and venture capital and collaborations, something that you have been quite stringent with respect to the market potential, the market need. And there's one thing that we didn't mention in terms of innovation, which I'll use GE as an example. Sometimes you think innovation is just state-of-the-art technology or next generation, these antibodies with 20 payloads, et cetera, engineering. No, sometimes innovation is what GE has done, calling it frugal innovation, which is innovation for access. How we can innovate and use biology, the way Ryan described, to get medicines to a larger number of patients and cheaper medicines. That is innovation, okay? So GE, for example, so when I say is there a market, you can also ask yourself, is my product, is my platform, is my company making a product cheaper or increasing access? So for example, GE, which could send theoretically, right, a rocket to space, what did it do? Patients in India are not able to get an ultrasound. So what do? They created a portable device to diagnose for ultrasound machine. So that's my first tip. So the market, not just global market, but also market in terms of increasing access to patients. And then the second one and most important one is because what I see every day, I was just emailing, I had one of the multinationals just ask about one of the assets that we're talking about, is the quality of the data. Don't skip, because then I have to justify, you know what I mean? Like why, so don't, if you have investments, as I said, use grant money, spend the money on your preclinical data. Think of it always as, could I translate these papers from my lab into a dossier, a regulatory dossier? You can't lose the market opportunity. So I think that, and never, venture capitalists, we are them. Venture capitalists are mean.
Esto es bárbaro porque ellos opinan, así que ahora...
So yeah, VCs are usually mean. I always question this because I don't know how many of you have actually spoken to investors and venture capitalists. People that think they know everything, and I'm very pragmatic and very honest. They're managing other people's money and always think everybody knows it all. Nobody knows more about your science than you. So, you know, it takes hundreds of meetings to get an investor. So don't even waste your time. If that's what I said, my first point was like strategic alignment. Go and seek funding from VCs that have funded that area before, that you don't have to re-educate these investors, and you really don't have to waste your time listening. You know, sometimes it's a negative comment about something they understand absolutely nothing about.
So I just wanted to chime in, una pedazo chiquitico ahí, around building your first company, right? Like a lot of founders, especially scientific founders, are like, oh, you know, it's 10% better, it's 20% better. No one cares, right? No one cares. 20% better, you're dead, right? Done. You might as well kill your company before you start it, right? What do people care about? The only two ways that we found in building 55 biotechs at IndieBio, and then a couple of dozen that I've helped and advised and various other things, either you make money or you blow people's minds. One or the other, right? You either make money or you blow people's minds.
I'll stay with the make money.
Yeah. But that's the thing, right? You make money, and that could be tools, reagents, things that you can sell early, fast, less regulated or almost unregulated, make money, pay your own salary, you know, put food on the table, or you blow people's minds, right? Oh, I'm going to store all the world's data, right, in DNA. Okay, blow my mind and make me think I'm going to make $1 billion if I put a little bit of money in, and it's possible, then you're going to raise money, right?
Can I say something? Oh,
So that's basically it. Make money, blow people's minds. That's your choice. And that's everywhere, globally.
No, and I would say something that I've done and I have patents. So I like to tell the story and like give a case study. So I have intellectual property that I filed that it was a really bad idea. You know, it was exciting, but there's no market, so just kill the project. You know what I mean? It's not because you have a patent and I filed specific patents. It was actually on glioblastoma multiforme and signatures and GBM, you know, a brain tumor. It wasn't there, you know, so just move on. Use your neurons and the synapses for something that does have a market need, because that's the other thing that we see, especially that I've seen in our region, in companies in Brazil, here, in Colombia, in Chile, is your research project, because your research line at the university is on this subject. You feel the need that this subject or this, you know, technology is the most important technology in the world. When it's not, and there's no market, just, you know, don't focus on that. So it just creates like barriers for it.
Bueno, yo sé que hay muchísimas más preguntas, los van a tener ahora a disposición en el coffee break, pero para poder cumplir con toda esta organización, les agradezco a los dos infinitamente.
A vos muchísimas.
Y los invito a pasar ahora a compartir un café y a empezar con las sesiones de vinculación en media hora, que van a ser acá al lado, en los livings, que están todas las empresas de la Cámara, el Departamento de Ciencia, Tecnología e Innovación de la Unión Industrial Argentina y Endeavor. Muchas gracias.